Hey everyone, welcome to this month's Mortgage Minute. It's going to be the last of this year for 2023. How quick it's gone. And first up, we're talking, as we have been a lot this year, about interest rates and finally some pretty good news. It looks like inflation is starting to get under control. The latest consumer price index, inflation has actually fallen down to 4.9% in October from 5.6% annualized in September. So that's good news because it means it's pushed down the probability of another rate hike next month down to, they're saying, around 11% chance of that happening. So good news for mortgage holders because it's been sort of 50-50 for the December rate rise, but that's making things look a lot more positive, at least for Christmas and coming up. Looking to next year, it's still a bit of an even split with a lot of economists saying that we're currently at the top of interest rates. Others are saying there could be another one or potentially two. Most are saying one interest rate hikes. We are seeing a few more people consider fixed rates at the moment, just for some certainty, because obviously we've seen the rates gone up a couple of times this year, 13 times since it all started last year. They're just wanting some stability, some ability to budget. So that's helping. So if you are thinking about that, just reply back, hit us up, and we can see what we can do there. Also, from what we're seeing, and we're doing a lot of repricing, renegotiating with existing lenders, but we are seeing a lot of banks willing to come to the party and offer a bigger discount. Usually if you had the loan for over 12 months, it's pretty hard to get them to move if you've only just moved into the home loan and you've got the rate and the discount that you've got. But definitely reply to this email. We've been helping people throughout the year, been getting some really good results there with negotiating. It's pretty surprising some of the discounts we've had there. Because the other thing that's surprised a lot of people is the price growth that we've had this year. The combined value of real estate in Australia is top $10 trillion, but we've seen price growth increase and at least a bit of a tapering off in the price growth, at least coming into the latter end of this year. They are saying that Sydney and Melbourne should hopefully be at peak prices. There should be much more growth tipped there, but definitely Perth, Brisbane, Adelaide, some of those centres are still looking like there's going to be further price growth and pressure. I was reading something last night that said that overall property demand is still in line with the trend for the last 4 or 5 years, but supply is 20% below where it was. So there's just not enough properties being built, being listed, available, and that's what's causing some of these pressure for price growth. We're seeing in a lot of instances, even now, coming up December, people are listing properties to auction to try and settle before December, and we're seeing multiple buyers for every single property. If you've got friends out there looking, you have to be pretty quick and jump on that pretty fast, because this is going to be the other trend for next year. The apartment vacancy outlook for 2024 is not looking great if you're a renter. Okay, if you're thinking about becoming an investor, but CBRE research found that rent is expected to go up another $120 per week, or about 26% over the next couple of years, and predict to see some pretty high growth into next year. And coupled with migration sticking where it is and vacancy to fall further to 0.8% by 2028 and 1.8% in 2023. So expecting the trend to continue with rental vacancies, expecting that to be pretty tight next year. And I think it's going to put more pressure. It's going to be probably bring more investors into the market. It's going to make it harder for first home buyers. It's going to be competing against that sort of property, that sort of stock. So tricky one. Looks like probably next year is set for at least the market to continue to go up, or at least stabilize. It doesn't look like there's any real sign of interest rates biting or slowing people down. Still a lot of inquiry for home buyers and even investors across, where people have got equity that have been built up over their properties over the last few years and getting into the market. And interesting to see, you might have seen in the news the last couple of weeks that Queensland has increased their first Homeowners Grant. So they're offering $30,000 to buy a brand new home or build a home, which, because of the issues in the construction industry, we're seeing less and less people do that. Every week goes by, there's another builder that's gone broke. I have a client who's a builder who's completing some properties in the inner west in Brisbane here, and even he said from when he started 12 months ago today, just the price of labor, the materials, the cost, everything's gone up 20 to 30%. And as a consumer, that's all getting passed on to us. It's going to be a very tricky year. I think we're getting a lot of inquiry for people that are looking to build, but there just doesn't seem to be any great green shoots coming out of that at the moment, because of the risks with the builders, because of the cost escalations, even with inflation where it's at, it's going to keep pushing up those prices, and it's going to be tricky, which is going to then put more demand on the existing home. But yeah, interesting to see in the UK market, it's completely the opposite. They can't get buyers there because of Brexit, because of everything that's happened, and they're having to offer Teslas. I remember they did this maybe a couple of years back where they were trying to get rid of apartments and offering for very expensive apartments cars. But interesting to see that's coming back. But yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be happening in Australia anytime soon. If you do need any help with your finance, reply to this email, hit us up at huntergalloway.com.au. We'd love to help out and see if we can review home loan. If you've got any friends or family that are looking at buying, please feel free to pass on our details. We love receiving referrals. We really appreciate it. And I hope you've had a really good year. Thanks for supporting us in this whole 2023 and look forward to seeing you in 2024 and beyond. Have a safe, Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, great holidays, have some time off with the family, and I'll see you next year. Until then, thanks guys.